Thank you for joining me here this afternoon. You have a live look at a strong tornado on the ground currently that is moving towards Rolfe in Iowa here, okay? So this storm has been rotating for quite a while, and we do have several reports of a tornado from this storm here. It was all the way on the ground back towards Rockwell City, then it moved up through Manson, and it is possibly still on the ground here near the Gilmore City area. Again, this is in Iowa. We do have a little bit of a debris signature with this storm here. Luckily, the velocities have been weakening out here for the most part. It's not quite as intense as it was earlier, but this is still a tornado on the ground, all right? This is an observed tornado warning here. We have seen numerous strong tornadoes today across portions of the plains and the Midwest, all right? And it's not stopping anytime soon, guys. We're still going to see more strong tornadoes rip through Iowa, Missouri, Illinois. This is a massive tornado outbreak on the way, all right? Not even on the way. It's already ongoing, all right? For the past several hours, really all day, we've been seeing large damaging tornadoes pretty much batter all of Iowa, Nebraska. We do have another storm here closer to Anamosa that not only is tornado warned, but it is also producing damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour, so take cover now. We've got a couple of storms in the Illinois area right now. None of them are that crazy. We do have several more in Iowa that are also tornado warned. We've got a couple here off to the north and the east of Waterloo that are tornado warned. This one here near Olwyn is pretty concerning, actually. It is not producing a tornado quite yet, it does not look like, but it could at any second. It's rotating very strong. Same thing with the one down there by the Dundee area. So we got to look out for another potential tornado touchdown. Again, right now we do only have one tornado on the ground here, but this is a very strong one, and it has been going for very, very long now. Again, it's gone all the way from the Rockwell City area up to where it is now. Right? It's a very long tracking, damaging tornado here. And again, this outbreak is not showing any signs of stopping soon here, you guys, all right? We do have a tornado watch in effect for a good chunk of the Midwest here, a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for just the south of that. So this is obviously a very dangerous tornado outbreak ongoing here. We're going to be here live covering it with you as it continues to sweep through the Midwestern United States here. Again, we have seen several damaging tornadoes today already, and we have another one ongoing near Gilmore City, Iowa, heading up towards Rolfe. Okay, so again, if you're included in this warning, you need to be taking cover now. Flying debris will be dangerous and potentially deadly to anybody in this warning that is caught without shelter here. Again, this is heading straight through the town of Rolfe, Iowa right now. We gotta hope that it lifted, but we can't assume that it did. All right, we don't know that for a fact. In fact, it's not even likely that it's lifted yet. So we're going to go and bring up a northwestern Iowa cyclone port there so that we can kind of see the storm a little bit better here. This is in the Arnold's Park Spirit Lake area in Iowa, off to the north and the west of this tornado here. But yeah, if anybody has any questions about their location, make sure that you are leaving those down below, because this is a very widespread event here. You can see all those little red little dots there with the little funnel inside of them. Those are your tornadoes that have already occurred, reports of tornado damage. We have not seen any that have been, like, that high up. All right, we haven't gotten any, like, tornado emergencies yet. I don't even think we've gotten a PDS tornado warning yet, but it doesn't matter. We have still seen several stronger tornadoes here today, and we are continuing to see that here, like this tornado near Rolfe. Again, this is possibly still a tornado on the ground, so we'll just have to wait and see if that does get any updates from the National Weather Service there. I am actually going to be in the path of these storms not too far out here. Tonight, I am going to be looking at some of these storms closer to the St. Louis area, heading up here towards my area. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully, I can get some good storm footage. We did have another tornado up here by Lamar's, Iowa. Iowa's gotten most of the bad tornadoes from today. Iowa and Nebraska really have been the big hit targets there. Quite a few in Kansas as well, actually. A little bit in Missouri. But yeah, we have a ton of storm chasers out there today, so that's good. But this is way more intense than what we saw yesterday. This is a violent tornado outbreak. Yesterday, we just had kind of a lower and severe weather outbreak, but today we are seeing, again, numerous tornadoes move through the central United States, now moving into the Midwestern United States. Again, the most concerning one being this potential tornado on the ground here near Pocahontas, Iowa. This does include Rolfe. Rolfe, this is heading right for you. You are right in the path of this. So you got to be taking cover. Again, this is possibly a tornado on the ground still here. We do have, again, a severe thunderstorm watch and a tornado watch in effect for today. We still have an enhanced hatched risk for tornadoes. I really wish they had upgraded this to a moderate risk at the most recent outlook, but they did not. I think definitely a tornado-driven moderate risk should have been issued here. That did not happen, but, you know, obviously the National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center know what they're talking about, so anyway. Again, we do have a potential here to see 1 or 2 more strong tornadoes over the next few hours here. And I am actually getting a phone call right now. Just give me just a second here. Sorry about that. Hello? Hello? Yeah, we did. You went home. I'm losing you. She doesn't have good enough connection. All right, we are back, everybody. Sorry about that. I had to take a phone call really quickly. Thank you, Lily Cakes, for the support there in chat. I do appreciate it. Again, if you're just now tuning in, we do have a large damaging tornado on the ground in Rolfe, Iowa. This has been a long tracking tornado, for sure. And it's continuing to go on here, it looks like. Looks like it just went through Rolfe. Unfortunately, we're probably going to see some pretty bad reports out of that area there, the Rolfe area. That is our only confirmed tornado right now. But we do have 2 other tornado warnings out here in eastern Iowa, and I do want to emphasize you should be taking cover in those. This one here in the Arlington area is pretty concerning. That is some very devious rotation over Highway 150 right now near Maynard. And then this one here for the Monticello area, you should also be taking cover in the Animos area because it is also rotating pretty decent here. Not quite as much as our other one up here, but that one is still very dangerous, and you need to be taking cover now. Without question. How is east of Davenport looking? It depends on where you're talking about east of Davenport, but for the most part, Davenport likely is going to get some strong, potentially even severe storms here. I don't think a strong tornado is really in the cards for the Davenport area, but a brief isolated one is definitely possible, so make sure that you do have a tornado action plan in place. If you are in the Davenport area, you are in that enhanced risk of severe weather. So make sure that you are taking that seriously. Again, hopefully the storms they're not quite as that intense by the time they get to you, but they still could be. Alright, so we do have an update to this now. Weather spotters confirmed tornado. This storm has produced intermittent tornadoes. So basically what they're saying is that it keeps lifting and keeps dropping down. It keeps lifting and keeps dropping down. And you need to be, if you're in this area, you need to just assume at all times that there's going to be a tornado on the ground heading for you because they are just dropping out and lifting back up like crazy fast here. So you need to be taking shelter because realistically, it can drop and lift up like in between 2 radar scans, so we may not even know it on radar. We do have a new tornado warning, by the way. That is going to be down there on the Missouri-Iowa border. This is near Memphis and Missouri. Unfortunately, we don't have very good radar coverage out here. It does look like this storm is rotating quite a bit, though. Is this storm going to hit Fort Wayne? I don't think Fort Wayne's going to get on too much. You don't have a severe risk for today. If we turn on tomorrow's outlook, you are actually in that slight risk of severe weather, so maybe some isolated damage and winds and large hail possible, but I'm not expecting too much for your area. But yeah, again, this storm here, it does not have very good radar coverage, which is really unfortunate. So if you're in Memphis, Missouri, or anywhere in that warning box, all the way up to Keosauqua, Iowa, you need to be taking cover now. Because that one's in such a bad radar zone, we might even not know if it drops down or not. Which is obviously not good at all. That is terrible. This one is still rotating quite a bit here near the Arlington area in Iowa. Not quite as much as it was on the last scan. So that's good, but you need to be still taking cover. It could spin back up, and it still is pretty intense right now even. This is a bit of unworn rotation near Cresco, it looks like, potentially. Actually, that's probably mostly just from the radars. The wind's going away from the radar. The radar is kind of in between that pocket of winds there, so I guess that may not be as bad as it looks, if that makes any sense. So, again, I do want to reemphasize, we now have 4 tornado warnings in effect, 1 tornado on the ground. We do have 7 severe thunderstorm warnings across all portions of Iowa, Missouri, Illinois. Right now, most of our storms are centered around Iowa and Missouri. These are going to sweep through Illinois. They are going to sweep into potentially as far out as western Indiana, and being capable of producing severe hazards. So again, this is a very dangerous storm here. All of these tornado warning storms are. Well, again, we have had so many tornadoes today. Luckily, most of them have been on the weaker side, but we have had a couple of stronger ones. One of them did have a report of flipping a mobile home, but luckily there were no injuries reported from that yet, so that's good. We had several in populated areas, unfortunately. We had this one near Kansas City in the Smithville area. We did have one that went near Des Moines, actually. There was damage to outbuildings there in Dallas County, near Minburn. So we have had some stronger tornadoes today. There's no point in saying what EF rating they were yet, because truthfully we don't know until after the National Weather Service goes out there and surveys the damage, but right now it is too dangerous out there to survey the damage for those tornadoes. They have to drive through this, so obviously they're not going to go out there right away and survey that. Usually it does take at least a day or two. And big outbreaks like this, it may take even longer. Okay, so we talked about how this tornado keeps dropping and then lifting back up. It is back on the ground. Law enforcement confirmed a tornado near Highway 3 and Highway 15 in Pocahontas County. So the tornado is actually right around here. So, well, no, that's got to be a past report. There are a lot of reports of different tornadoes from this storm here. Again, there is still likely a tornado on the ground somewhere near the Rolfe area, off to the north of Rolfe, most likely now. If you're in Rolfe, for the most part, I'd say you're good. It's probably not even raining in Rolfe anymore, depending on where you're at. It's a one-and-done thing, but that one, it's bad. And you can see all the different tornado reports we've had from today. We've had so many in Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa. Big old plains outbreak here. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning. That's for 60-mile-per-hour winds near Mount Pleasant in Iowa. That does have the tornado possible tag, so you need to be alert for a possible tornado. You don't need to seek shelter, but it could potentially produce a tornado down the line. We did get one of our tornado warnings removed up here in Iowa. We've still got this one for the Anamosa, Monticello area, but it's about to expire, so we'll have to see if they reissue that. I don't think they will. For the next few minutes, though, you do need to be staying in shelter until at least 3:45 Central, until that warning officially does expire for safety reasons. Again, it's hard to tell if there's a tornado here. This isn't a great radar coverage zone either. It's really not. Not quite as bad as our one down here in Missouri, but it's still not great. Northeast Missouri is a really bad radar hole just in general. We did have a wind damage report down to the south and the west of this warning box. That could have been a possible tornado. I don't know, we'll have to wait for the National Weather Service to go out there and confirm that. But we may have had a possible tornado near Anamosa and Springville on the Highway 151 area. Again, that's not confirmed, but it could have been. There was wind damage in an area where a possible tornado went through, so it could have been a tornado. Yeah, they are popping fast. For sure. And right now, we still do have 2 tornado warnings in effect. Again, we do have a tornado on the ground, most likely, north of Rolfe, Iowa. Up there in northern Iowa. And we do have a look at a live cam in that area. Unfortunately, it's not facing the right direction, but you can still see it's very nasty out there in terms of the skies. Pretty overcast and ominous conditions. And again, we do still have quite a bit of rotation here. This still might produce a tornado if it's not still on the ground. So you need to be taking cover anyway. Because we may have one on the ground still. Like I said. Yeah, this is looking really intense, guys, rotation-wise, near Memphis. If you're in Memphis, you're good. This has passed you. But areas like Arbella, Granger, Luray, even as far south as Wyconda, you need to be respecting the polygon, the tornado warning, and taking shelter immediately. Because, again, this is rotating pretty darn good there, southeast of Memphis. And now it looks even better off to the northeast of Memphis in Missouri. Just saw some damage from chasers in Iowa. If you know what area of Iowa, I would love to know that. If you don't, then that's still, thank you for letting me know, you know. Because I can't look at chasers while I'm live because I don't want to get copyrighted. So I do appreciate anybody, if they do have any damage reports, even if it's just like through somebody's feed. Okay, so there's our tornado report near the intersection of highways 3 and 15. So this storm has produced possibly 4 different tornadoes in Iowa. Up there in north central Iowa, in northwestern Iowa. We did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning. That is going to be for Lynn, Benton. That does include Cedar Rapids, all these counties here in Iowa. This is in eastern Iowa. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, large hail up to 1 inch in diameter, and a possible tornado will be the threats associated with this storm here. So look out for that. At this point, I am actually more worried about our storm here in Missouri, near Memphis. Again, it's rotating really good in there, it looks like. We don't have the best radar coverage, once again, out here, but from what we can see, it does look pretty bad out there. We are getting some of those storms starting to cross the Mississippi River now. Into Illinois. Again, we do have severe thunderstorm watches and tornado watches in effect here for a good portion of the Midwest right now. We have Storm Chaser Willard Sharp on this storm here in Iowa, and they just issued a new tornado warning for this. This is now down to radar indicated, so this is no longer a tornado on the ground. I repeat, this is no longer a tornado on the ground. But this storm does have a history of producing tornadoes, and also there is still a reported funnel cloud with this storm, so you need to be taking cover now in the West Bend area, Whitmore, Cylinder. This, again, has potentially produced 4 different tornadoes, and it is still rotating incredibly. So now that we don't have any tornadoes on the ground, normally in a situation like this, I would not end off the stream here because we've still got multiple tornado warnings. We've got tons of severe thunderstorm warnings. But because of the intensity of this event, I'm going to have to leave at some point, obviously. But I do want to be here during the most intense moments. So I think what I'm actually going to do is, because we don't have a tornado actively on the ground, I am going to go ahead and head off here. We do have several tornado warnings. You need to be taking cover if you are in them. Your cousins, where are your cousins? Are they in the Whitmore area in Iowa? Yeah, you may want to alert them. I'm sure their phones are going nuts if they are in that area. But yeah, I think I am going to hop off here, everybody. If we do get a confirmed tornado touchdown, I will be back here so quickly. It won't even feel like I've been gone. So thank you all for watching this stream. This is continuation of this ongoing deadly tornado outbreak. Again, it's produced so many different tornadoes already. So many. So anyway, I will see you guys all later. Peace. Please let me end the stream.